find a comfortable position. I'm gonna start by like talking about the class first, and then we'll do a little bit of a meditation. And I wanted to know, like, we'll ask Nina too. So in the class this morning, we sang like Om. We chanted Om, which I've never done with you guys because I always thought mommy would make fun of me. So that's why. But like the reason we chant Om is because it's the sound, the base sound of the universe. It's the base sound where all other sounds come from. And the way when you chant it, you actually feel the vibrations from the bottom of your belly all the way up to inside of your head. So it really helps to wake up your energies, and it helps you to get centered and grounded. So if you want, we can chant some Om today, but we'll see. I don't know, man. I have no problem doing it in class, like with the other, like in-person class, but if I'm the one leading it, I'm like, all shy. Because I did it like one time for one of my classes, and I didn't explain why very well, I guess. So Aldo took my class, and he was like, that was weird. Like, oh, okay. I guess I won't do that anymore. But yeah. Well, today, so I still like the way I do my themes, where I have we work on I focus more on like the health benefits rather than the spirituality part of it. Also a little bit of spirituality, but oh, that's awesome. Yay. Well, that's good. Yeah, so I'm more focused like on using yoga for health benefits, and I sort of like secretly it helps you with your mental health and spirituality. But I don't say it a lot, mainly because of who are my students, right? But since we're here, like, might as well. So yoga, what it means is a union, and that can mean union between yourself and creation. That can mean union between you and everything else. But what I mostly mean when I say union during our classes is union between the mind and the body, and we do that through the breath, which is why we're so focused on the breath. So when you notice, like, if you're super angry, you'll notice your breath gets faster and faster. But if you bring your breath down, it is very difficult to stay in a heightened emotional state, because your breath and your body feel calm. So this is why we focus so much on the breath. The breath is like a vehicle between the mind and the body. It is how you can control both the mind and the body. You can even bring down your own heart rate just by focusing on your breath, by bringing down your breath, which is normally an involuntary function, but you can make it somewhat voluntary by just focusing on your breath, bringing that down, bringing down your blood pressure. Like, you can bring your body to homeostasis just like by thinking about it, just by focusing on your breath, which is super cool. But the flow for today is a flexibility flow, just like a more general, more focused on the legs. When I do flexibility, it's more focused on the legs, a little bit on the side body and on the back. But we're mainly focusing on the legs and the back part of the legs, building on last week's class, which was yoga for the sciatic nerve, yoga for like this back part. You weren't there, but for the sciatic nerve, which is like something that for me is very difficult. So like when we've done this together before, where if you point your toes, it is way easier to bend forward. But then if you flex your toes, it's like suddenly you feel this pulling all the way from your heel to the base of your spine, which is your sciatic nerve, since there's no muscle that goes all the way from the base of your spine to your heel, as I'm sure you know. Yes. So, and we're not doing Surya Namaskar today. Yeah, I know, crazy, I know. We're just gonna do this like nice little warm-up. Warming up always the wrists, because you know how I am very anal about warming up the wrists, especially when we put a lot of weight on, or any weight on our wrists really. It is good to warm it up. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's find a comfortable spot, taking out your butt flops as needed so you can sit up straight with your eyes gently closed. And let's just take a few moments to get centered, to bring our awareness to our breath. To prepare our mind and our body for the class to come. Take notice on how your body feels when you are taking nice big deep breaths. Step out of your mind and into your body. And let's try chanting Om 3 times together. So when we chant, I'm gonna do my best. When we chant, we're saying three separate syllables, 3 separate sounds. Ah, O, and And the way you do that is you open your mouth and just like let noise come out, and that is the ah, and you feel that sound right here deep in your belly. Then as you close your mouth, it goes to and you feel that more in your chest. And then at the end, you close your lips for and you feel that in your head area. So we try to do the an equal amount of time for each. It doesn't have to be perfect. And the way I do it is, it kind of looks stupid. It's just I open my mouth first and then I let noise come out, and then I slowly close my mouth. And I want you to just like, even if you don't do the Om, just close your eyes and try to feel with me the vibration coming from the base, the bottom of your belly, rising up to your chest and all the way up through your head. And that'll hopefully wake up some of our energies, because I am very exhausted today after being kind of a couch potato for a week and then super working out a lot in one day. So, spine erect, chest open. A couple of breaths. And we're gonna inhale and then chant Om 3 times together. So big inhale. Inhale. Exhale, palms together in front of your chest. Inhale. Exhale, bring your chin down. Gently open your eyes, looking down. And humbly raise your head up. Namaste. All right, my voice feels like bigger after that, so it worked. Something worked. So we're gonna warm up kind of our backs and our legs and our wrists all at the same time. So in a tabletop position, don't forget to grip the floor with your fingers. And we're gonna have our toes on the floor. So instead of the tops of the toes down, we're gonna be having our toes up on the floor. Hi, Nina. Just join right in. We're just starting the warm up. And just very gently make a big circle coming forward and back, all the way touching your heels and around. Just warming up your wrists, your shoulders, your hips, even your toes and your feet a little bit. Nice and slow. I did some handstands this morning, so my wrist is done with the heavy lifting for the day. Let's go in the opposite direction now. Wait, which way did I just go? This way. Yes. Inhale. Exhale. Try to connect your body with your breath. However is best for you is fine. Normally what I do is whenever I'm extending or stretching out, I inhale, and whenever I contract or make myself smaller in any way, I exhale, which is kind of like the natural way your body wants to do things. Expand and contract. Keep breathing, a few more. And now readjust your hands, make sure you're gripping the floor. Lift your hips and come into a downward facing dog with bent knees here. So focus on pushing the floor away, your shoulder blades away from each other. Knees bent, heels up, that's okay. And lift your hips as high as possible first. And then bring one heel down at a time, nice and slow, stretching out the whole back of your legs. Now try to bend your knees and bring your heels close to the ground while lifting your hips at the same time. Very nice. And again, walk it out, one heel down at a time. Now inhale, lift your right leg up, nice big stretch, and open your hip, bend your knee, look under your arm. Big stretch here. Exhale, switch legs. Inhale, lift your left leg up and bend your knee, open your hip, look under your left arm. Breathe here. Exhale, back to center. Walk your feet out, walk your legs out a little bit more. Lifting those hips. Remember, the most important part is that your spine is straight and your hips are lifted. The knees being straight and heels going down to the floor, that will come with time. And exhale, come forward to a plank. Bring your knees gently to the ground. Bend your elbows, bring your chest and chin to the ground. Hips up. And then gently stretch out. Inhale, come up to Sphinx. So put your elbows directly beneath your shoulders. Open your chest, shoulders away from your ears. You can have your legs a bit wider apart too. I like to gently shake my hips here just to loosen them out. But that's just me. Exhale, come down, put your hands directly below your shoulders, elbows close to your body. Inhale, push up into a little cobra. And come up into tabletop position. We'll just do a couple of cat-cows to wake up our spine. So inhale, hips up, chest up, head up. Exhale, hips down, round your upper back. Inhale. Exhale, release your neck. Inhale, hips up, chest up. See, I'm stretching, so I'm inhaling. And then I exhale as I contract and round my upper back. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Round your upper back. Release your neck. Bring your big toes together. Heels to your hips and stretch out in Balasana, Child's Pose for a little bit. Inhale, come up to tabletop position. Tuck your toes, lift your hips into downward facing dog. Walk it out a moment. Get comfortable in this position. This will be our resting pose. Unless, of course, you need to go, your arms need to rest, then please feel free to go to Balasana, to child's pose, whenever you need a rest. But for the most part, since we're intermediate class, downward facing dog will be our resting position. It takes the least amount of effort of all of the poses. Now, inhale, lift your right leg as high as you can, big stretch. Bend your knee, bring your knee as close to your chest as you can, and place your foot between your hands. Now we're gonna put on the floor the back heel, and make sure your front heel is in line with the arch of your back foot, bending your front knee, come up. We're gonna go to warrior two, so hips facing the center, lift your arms, looking towards your bent leg. Feel your right hip pressing forward and your left hip pressing backwards to get that nice alignment. To really connect with your legs, lift the toes from your front leg. Lift your right toes and connect your foot directly into the floor, into the ground. Breathe. Very nice. Now inhale, place your back hand either on your back thigh or below your knee, just don't press on your knee. And stretch your other arm up, stretching the whole side of your body, keeping your knee bent at 90 degrees-ish. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Bring your forearm to the top of your left knee. Other arm comes up and over, making this nice straight line from the tips of my fingers to my heel. Big stretch looking towards the ceiling. Keeping your shoulder away from your ear. Lifting through your arm. Breathing. And exhale, turn towards your leg, one hand on each side. Bring your leg back into downward facing dog. Walk it out here for a moment. Now this is the vinyasa part of vinyasa class. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, bend your elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up, upward facing dog or cobra spine 2. And exhale, lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Walk it out a little bit here. Now other side, inhale, lift your left leg up, big stretch. Bend your knee, bring it as close to your chest as you can and forward between the palms. Let me turn to the other side. And set down your back heel at 45 degrees. Check that your front heel is in line with your back arch. Left knee bent, lifting up. Hips towards the center. And arms up, looking towards your left leg. Sinking down nice and deep. Lift your left toes to really feel your left leg connected and rooted into the ground. And breathe, focus on your breath. Inhale, bring your back arm to your back leg, lifting your other arm up and over, chest towards the ceiling. Big stretch. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Bring your forearm to the top of your leg. Other arm up and over. Big side stretch. This is called extended side angle pose. I'm going to start maybe next week telling you all of the Sanskrit names for the poses. Although my teachers say it's not important to know the name of the pose, what is important is to feel the pose. Doesn't matter what you call it. Breathing, looking at your fingers if you can, if not at the ceiling is fine. And exhale, go towards your leg, both hands on either side. Bring your leg back into downward facing dog. Walk it out. Lift your hips. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up to upward facing dog, or cobra is fine as well. Exhale, lift your hips, roll over your toes into down dog one more time. You see why down dog is a resting pose now? Yeah. All right, inhale, lift your left leg one more time. Big stretch, knee close to your chest. Bring your leg forward in between your hands. Place your back heel down, and this time, with both hands down on the floor, straighten your front leg. You can bring your hands up to your shin. In pyramid pose, this is called. If you have some books or some pillows, you can pile them next to your leg to bring the floor closer to you. Think about pushing your left hip forward and your right hip backwards to keep your hips nice and square. Feel that nice big stretch on the back part of your front leg and the back part of your back leg as well, especially your calves. Learning to stay stable in this position is really important for later on when we do handstands and stuff. This is the proper core engagement. And now bringing your right hand to your right shin, we're gonna open our chest and our hips towards the center and lift our other arm up in Trikonasana. That is the Sanskrit name for triangle pose. Another really good full body stretch. Breathing, looking up, or you can look forward. If I look forward though, my hair is too heavy, so I'm gonna look up. Inhale, coming up to center. Turn both heels in, so we're facing exactly the center. Both feet are 45 degrees. Nice and symmetrical. We're going to do a big forward fold, my personal favorite stretch. So with our pelvis neutral, inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, bend from the waist, bend forward, like someone's pulling your hands forward, flat back as long as you can. And exhale, bring your hands down and release your neck. Here you can gently move your hips from side to side, keeping your knees straight. Inhale, just lift your head and your chest, flatten out your back. And exhale, go down a little bit further, breathe. You can still gently rock your hips from side to side. Inhale, chest up, head up. Bring both hands to your waist and lift your upper body. Now we're going to turn out our left foot and turn in our right foot in Trikonasana position on the other side. Make sure our hips are square and arms out. Go side like someone's pulling your fingers and tilt, bringing your hand down to your shin. Or if you're feeling particularly flexible today, you can bring your hand down behind your leg to the floor. Either way, opening your chest towards the ceiling, looking up or forward. In Trikonasana on the other side, breathing. Now exhale, turn towards your leg, turn your hips in towards your left leg, bringing both hands to your shin, or if you can, down on the floor on either side. Readjust your feet as necessary. Thinking about pushing your right hip forward and your left hip backward, keeping your hips square. And bringing your belly towards your thigh. You don't have to think about bringing your chest or your head down, because they will follow, but if you think about bringing your belly towards your thigh, you'll have proper alignment and a really deep, big stretch. And as soon as you can touch your belly to your thigh, the rest of your body will come with it. It has to, it's attached. Exhale, bend your knee, both palms on the ground. Bring your leg back into downward facing dog. Check out how that feels after those big stretches. Is your downward dog feeling a little bit more comfortable maybe? Maybe you're able to get your heels a bit closer to the ground, hips a little bit higher. And inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog again. Walking our feet out one by one. And exhale, bring your knees gently down, big toes together, sit back on your heels and rest in Balasana for a little bit. Inhale, looking up, walk your hands back so you're in a kneeling position. From here, let's go into a Malasana garland pose. Really good pose for literally everything, for digestion, for cramps, for helping with core activation, for helping with flexibility, absolutely everything. So I do it super modified. I do it with my feet super wide and my toes spread out. This is the one where if you're up against the wall, it's a little bit easier. So I'll show that option first. So I have my feet about as wide as my mat, toes pointed at 45 degrees. And then I bend my knees, arms forward. And if I'm on the wall, I'm just very gently leaning against the wall, trying to put my elbows on the inside of my thighs. Feeling that nice big stretch, very good, yes. Very nice, Nina, very nice to see. I like the wall version, it's less hard. Eventually we'll be able to come to this like really small Malasana, but not today. Today we'll do a nice wide one. And breathe. Very good. Now place both hands on the ground and lift your hips while dropping your head. Lifting your hips, dropping your head into a nice forward fold. You can very gently move your hips from side to side here. So just really get into all of the nooks and crannies of all of the muscles. And then one more time with your hands on the floor, drop your hips and come down into Malasana again. Very good. And exhale, sit down and grab your strap. It is strap time. So here, if you like, or if you're feeling a little bit of tension in your lower back or your hips, or even if you're feeling just like your muscles are not as warm today maybe, feel free to sit on a cushion. Just sit on the edge of a cushion for the whole part of the class that we're on the floor. That will help. You'll still get the exact same stretch, which is less tension, which is even better than doing the full stretch while still feeling the tension. So I'm actually gonna do it on the little pillow because I like it. And you're gonna have your left leg bent and your right leg out about, like if your legs are both out, it would be at 90 degrees, whatever feels comfortable. Sitting up straight, taking out your butt flap so you can sit directly on your sits bones, have a really good base with our toes flexed. Now, first we're gonna go sideways, yes. So you can do this with a strap or without the strap. If you do this with the strap, I'll give you the two options. You put the strap around the top part of your foot and then you cross it. I like to cross it 2 times. So you're holding the opposite, so the part of the strap that's on the left part of my foot, I'm holding in my right hand. The part of the strap that's on the right side, I'm holding in my left hand, so they're crossed. And we do this because we're gonna be facing the center and going towards the side, doing a nice big side stretch. So we open the straps, our elbows on the inside of the leg, and we look underneath like this. Yeah, like that. If this is awkward, which is a little bit awkward for me, what I do is I just put the inside of my elbow on the inside of my leg and I lift my other arm up and over. Opening my chest, looking towards the ceiling. Both are good. Okay, I'm gonna hold the strap with one hand and do this. Yeah. And breathe. Feel a nice big stretch on the side of your body. This, even though we're using our legs, it's more of a stretch for our spine and our obliques. And inhale, come up, rest a moment. And now we're gonna turn towards our leg, so we're facing our leg directly, keeping the strap still. It can be crossed as well. Inhale with your chest open, spine erect. Think about bringing your belly towards your thigh. That'll give you the deepest stretch possible. So inhale, elongate. Exhale, bring your belly towards your thigh. Use the strap to gently pull on the top of your foot, reminding your foot to stay flexed. You'll feel it on your sciatic nerve here. Breathe. Inhale, straighten your spine, come up a little bit, elongate a little bit more, and exhale, go down one more time. See if you can go a little bit further. It's not necessary to bring your chest or your nose to your knee at all, even though this is called Janu Shirshasana, nose to knee pose. If you really think about bringing your belly towards your thigh over time, it'll be so comfortable that you can just very gently lay your head towards your knee. And inhale, coming up, switch sides, right leg in, left leg out. First facing towards the center. You can use your strap around your leg, cross it. And bringing your left arm on the inside of your left leg, other arm over. So looking under your arm, nice big side stretch here. Very good. Breathing. Looking towards the ceiling. You can have your eyes closed, but like your face towards the ceiling. Inhale, coming up, turn towards your leg, nice and square, spine elongated, chest open. Inhale, elongate, exhale, bring your belly towards your thigh. If you're feeling good and you're not gonna round out your back, you can bring your knee down. But as soon as you start rounding out your upper back, you're gonna lose that nice big stretch. So think about bringing your belly towards your thigh. Use a strap. Breathe. Inhale, coming up, straighten out your spine, elongate a little bit more, and exhale, belly towards your thigh, pulling the strap close to your body. And inhale, coming up, release the strap. Open both legs at about 90 degrees, not too far. Even if you can open them farther, it's actually not recommended to open your legs as far as they go and then bend forward. That can cause some knee and hip problems in the long run, but however you're comfortable, you know your body best. We're just going to do a nice forward bend. So I like to do it by walking forward with my hands and bouncing. So fingertips on the ground. Walk one hand forward, bounce, other hand, bounce, 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 little by little, until you're at your farthest, and exhale. Try to bring your forehead to the ground if possible. If not, that's okay. Wherever you are feeling a nice big stretch, let's hold for a few seconds. Don't hold your breath though. Inhale, very gently and slowly walk back, bouncing side to side, little by little, all the way to sitting up position. You can use your hands to pull your legs together, give them a big hug. And let's move on to Hanuman Asana. It is monkey pose, also known as the splits. But we'll start with warming up, so we'll do the right side first. One side is always going to be more flexible than the other, so don't worry if like your right side is feeling really mobile and your left side is not feeling as good. That is perfectly normal. For me, my right side is much more flexible by like inches, by like this much, than my left side. That's just how it is based on how we use our bodies day to day. So hands on your hips, bringing your right leg forward. First, let's just check our mobility here. Wake up our legs. Prepare ourselves for the shock of the splits. And now press your hips as far as they go. Gently arch your spine. Very good. And exhale, straighten your front leg. Flex your front foot. Bend from the waist. Keep your hands on your waist though, and just feel the nice stretch on the whole back part of your front leg. You can bring your hands to the ground or to your leg. Just don't press on your knee to help with some balance. And now, feel free to stack a pile of pillows underneath where, basically where your crotch is gonna go. Bring the floor closer to you, that is perfectly fine. While we try to very, very gently go down into Hanuman Asana. So we're starting here in our little lunge pose. I'm gonna bring my hands to the ground and slowly inch my right leg forward and let my left knee slide back. Just little by little, little by little, wiggle it forward. This is where I'm gonna stay for today. And let's hold here for 5, breathe, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, sit to one side, bend your knees. Very nice. Let's try the left side. Hands on your hips, left leg comes forward, and just check out your mobility first. And now go to your furthest. Gently press your hips forward, arch your back slightly looking up, feel the nice stretch. And exhale, straighten out your front leg, flex your foot, bending from the waist, bring your belly towards your thigh. You don't have to touch, mine's pretty far. It's also okay if it touches. And then you can bring your hands down to the ground or on your leg, on your shin. As long as you're not pressing on your knee, that's fine. And breathe here. Try to straighten out your spine here. And now we have our pillows already, so hand on either side, gently inch your left foot forward and your right knee backwards, little by little. I like to wiggle it forward a little and find a spot that you can handle for 5 breaths. Here we are. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently sit down on the side, bend your knees. Very good. You can very gently for your hips, just bring one knee down at a time, or both knees down, but on opposite sides here. Waking that up. Very good. And from here, we can come back onto our spines for hand to big toe pose. Whew. So one last big stretch on the back part of our legs, starting on our spines, knees bent. Grab your strap. We're gonna lift our right leg, put the strap right on the top part of our foot, and gently straighten out our right leg, pushing your heel towards the ceiling and your toes towards you. Try to bring it as close to you as you can with the straps while not feeling uncomfortable. Still feeling a bit of a stretch, but not uncomfortable. And then once you feel good there, straighten out your left leg. Breathe. If you feel a lot of tension in your leg, it's okay to have a micro bend in your knee. But for the most part, try to keep it straight, not overextended, just nice and active. Now transfer both straps to your right hand. Put your left hand on your left hip, reminding you to keep your hip down. And gently open your leg to the side. In hand to big toe pose B. It's called hand to big toe because we're supposed to be touching our toes with our hand, but that will come over time. We could do it now, but it would be very uncomfortable. So the goal is not to be uncomfortable. The goal is to improve, to make our body more flexible, because that will make our mind more flexible. So we're able to navigate this life however we need. And inhale back to center. Pull the straps a little bit closer to you if you can. And take the strap away. Lift your leg without the strap one more time. And exhale, release. Bend both knees so we can do the same thing on the left side. So lift your left leg, strap around the top part of the leg, gently straighten it out, pulling the straps close to you wherever you feel a bit of a stretch but not uncomfortable. And once you're there, straighten out your right leg and breathe. Try to keep both hips and both shoulders on the floor. Then move both straps to your left hand. Put your right hand down on your right hip, reminding you to keep your right hip down. And open your leg to the side. Big stretch. Breathe here. Very nice. Everybody's so flexible. And inhale, leg back up to center, straps in both hands. Try to pull it a little bit closer to yourself than before. And release the straps, straighten out your leg, push your heel towards the ceiling one more time. And exhale, release it down. One more, bring your, bend both of your knees. Bring your heels as close to your butt as you can. Palms flat on the ground on either side of your body. We're going to do Setu Bandhasana, which is bridge pose. So inhale, tuck your pelvis, squeeze your butt muscles, and lift your hips. Lift up as high as you can. Breathe. And exhale, come down vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll down slowly, slowly. So your pelvis is the last thing to touch the ground. And then you can stretch out your legs, palms facing the ceiling. Close your eyes in Shavasana. Focusing on your breath. Relaxing your whole body. Gently bring your awareness back into your body. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Slowly move your neck side to side. Bend your knees one by one and turn to one side. Staying here a moment. Push yourself up to a seated position. Find something nice and comfortable. Try to keep your eyes still gently closed. And you weren't here, but at the beginning of class, we chanted Om 3 times to center ourselves. So I'm going to chant Om 1 time now to signify the end of the class, to transition back into the real world from the world of yoga. You don't have to chant with me. Just try to feel the vibrations starting from the bottom of your belly, building up to your chest and finally to your head as the Om finishes. So, a few breaths together. And inhale. Big inhale. And exhale. Palms together in front of your chest. Inhale. Exhale, bring your chin down. Excuse me. Slowly open your eyes, looking down. And humbly raise your head up. Namaste. Thank you for joining today's class.